Are you the self-proclaimed nice girl? The one that is always doing the most and going above and beyond for others? You may think that by being nice, you will have more friends and people will like you more, and that guy that you like might like you back. But in reality, you're exhausted and you feel like you are constantly getting walked all over. Welcome back to the It Girl Playbook. Today, we'll be exploring the book Why Men Love Bitches, because this book has truly influenced my life and I needed to change yours also. The only people who like people pleasers, aka doormats that they can walk all over, are the ones that are taking advantage. Narcissists love doormats because they can take so much mental and emotional advantage of you. A man-child loves doormats because they happily cook and clean for their man-child when asked. There was a story in the book that really stood out to me. This girl happened to be a friend of the author's, and note that this girl is drop dead gorgeous, okay? Literally model material. But for some reason, she was very, very insecure, and as a result, she also fell into the cycle of doing so much for a man to prove that she was worthy of being with, or to prove to him that there's going to be, quote unquote, no one like her. And there was this instance where she was over at her boyfriend's house helping him clean his apartment when they got into an argument, and he said some really, really nasty stuff. And guess what? Guess what our model friend did? Bestie said, "That's rude, but let me finish your laundry first before I leave." And during the interview for the book, the guy said that he knew what he did and what he said was wrong. And before he said anything, he wanted to see how the girl was going to react, if she was going to tolerate what he just said, his behavior, and put him in his place and tell him to never speak to her like that again. In fact, he wanted her to fight back, even just a little. And when she stayed to finish the laundry, he just lost respect for her because she didn't even respect herself. Being a bitch doesn't mean that you are mean to everyone. It simply means that you allow yourself to have standards and you stay true to your boundaries. For example, our model friend, she should have left the second that her boyfriend said something disrespectful. The doormat lets her man get away with anything and everything, and therefore her man doesn't respect her and does whatever he wants because he knows that she'll never leave. A bitch would have left the second that she sensed any kind of disrespect. Actually, she probably would have demanded a date to begin with rather than going to his apartment to play housekeeper. A bitch gets the princess treatment and pushes a man to get his shit together because he knows that she won't tolerate anything less. One of my favorite lessons from the book is this: just because you can do everything doesn't mean you should. It's as simple as you know that you have two arms and you know that you can open your own doors, but you still allow a man that you're with to be a gentleman and open your doors for you. You're allowing the man to be a man, letting him open the doors for you, to let him show you how chivalrous he is and what a gentleman he is, not because you can't open doors. So just because you can do everything doesn't mean you should. A trap that I see a lot of women falling into, and trust me, I'm not proud to say this as well, but I've been there also, where you find yourself doing the most to almost prove to a man that you, quote unquote, got it also. And I remember when I was back in high school and I wanted to prove that, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing, but I wanted to prove to this guy that I was seeing in high school, I was one of those kids. But I wanted to prove that I can also pay for dates. And instead of allowing a man to prove to me that he deserves to be with me, bestie, I was proving myself to a man. You see, I do embarrassing things so that you don't have to, and just learn from my mistakes. And I could say this, after doing the inner work, I came to the realization that during that period, I was not in a very good financial situation. My family, we had our ups and downs with a business going under, and my parents was just starting to find some stability with a new business that we had. So at the time, I wanted people to see that I was actually doing well financially, because previously when we weren't, it was a little embarrassing for me. I didn't want them to see that vulnerable side of me, and I didn't want them to think that I was struggling at home. And so I felt like I needed to go the extra mile to prove that point. Movie tickets were like $15 per ticket, so the date was like $30, but like guys, prize in high school, that was a lot of money to me. And I guess I was very insecure when my family wasn't doing well, but they were still doing their best to provide for me with everything that they can. And so I think I just felt like I was a financial burden to them. And so when it came to dating, I just didn't want to be a financial burden to the guy that I was seeing and let him pay as well. And trust me, we've come a long way. And I come to realize that how we see ourselves is so important, which is another principle that was heavily discussed in the book. And if you see yourself as a financial burden, then you're going to find yourself overcompensating with hyper independence like me. And if you see yourself as a prize and you genuinely believe that you are the prize, other people are going to treat you like you are the prize. Too many of us are putting other people on a pedestal when really we should be the one that's putting ourselves on a pedestal. When you see yourself as a prize, you're too busy living a happy life and you're too busy pouring into yourself to be chasing a man. And as a result, instead of chasing, you are always attracting. You seem so happy with your life that when people see this, they want to be a part of it as well. This is also one of my favorite lessons from the book, which is the idea of attracting, right? Everything that you chase will run away from you. This is the entire idea of femininity, right? Feminine energy attracts, whereas masculine energy is about chasing. You need to focus on yourself, setting your standards, and attracting the guy that will meet those standards for you. And if you're doing it right, then it should come easy for you. You shouldn't be the one chasing, because not only will you wear yourself out, but you will also chase that man away. There were so many valuable lessons in this book, but I hope that sharing some of my favorite ones that really stood out for me gave you some insight as well. And so with that being said, stop being a people pleaser, stop being a doormat, and start becoming a bitch. You are the prize and you deserve princess treatment too. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, the Playbook Mini is currently out. It's a compiled list of our beloved and most popular series, It Girl Lessons from It Girls. And this ebook is something that I've put a lot of work in for a while now. And if it helps at least one person on their self-improvement journey, then it's all worth it for me. You pay what you want, so yes, you can grab it for free if you'd like. So what are you waiting for? There will be a link in the podcast description if you'd like to check it out. And if you like it, if it made you think, or it helped you in any way, I would really appreciate a review or any type of feedback. This will help me tremendously for a bigger project that I'm working on for you guys. And so with that being said, now I'm really done. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye.